Imagine a boy in a wheelchair daring to challenge the world. This story will push the boundaries of what you know. Ryan, a 17-year-old boy, was born with a wheelchair. With his legs unable to walk, Ryan has experienced challenges that many of us never dare to imagine. Every morning, when the sunlight just broke through the leaves, Ryan began his arduous journey. His thin hands pushed the wheelchair on the rough road, where every stone and every pothole was like a rock. Reminder of the unfairness of life. He lives in a quiet small town, where it is easy to forget the big dreams of a boy who cannot walk like everyone else. The local library is the only place Ryan finds freedom. Old bookshelves are not only filled with writing but are also doors opening to the vast world. There, Ryan spent hours, eyes bright with hope, devouring every line about technology, space exploration and great inventors. Of all the names I know, Elon Musk become the greatest source of inspiration. Ryan admires Elon not only for his success, but for his courage to pursue the unthinkable, something that Ryan feels is as close to his own heart's desire. But Ryan's life is not easy. His family struggles every day just to meet basic needs, adequate meals, healthy clothes. A new wheelchair, the thing that should have been the most necessary thing for him, became a luxury dream. There were nights when Ryan sat quietly by the window, his eyes looking into the dark sky, his heart aching with the question, what can I do in this harsh world? But Ryan never let those limitations constrain him. In his heart, a dream still burned. He wanted to create one self-driving wheelchair powered by solar energy, can overcome any terrain. Not just for him, Ryan believes that this invention will change the lives of millions of disabled people around the world. But, does that boy have any tools, money or connections? That idea, although beautiful, seemed too big for someone who had nothing in his hands. Then one fateful evening, Ryan found a glimmer of hope. He accidentally read the announcement online. Elon Musk will host a virtual Q&A session for young inventors, where the most innovative ideas will be selected for presentation. Ryan's heart pounded, his trembling hand scanned the screen. This is your chance, a moment that can change your life. But in that moment of excitement, reality pulled Ryan back. He needed one working prototype or one detailed design. Ryan has the idea, but lacks everything else. Sitting alone in a dark room, Ryan felt a sharp pain in his chest. Life always seems to like to joke with you, placing your dream right in front of your eyes but pulling it away just because of circumstances. But instead of breaking down, Ryan dried his tears and told himself, I can't give up. For a whole week, he worked tirelessly, sketching every detail and writing descriptions carefully even though his hands were so tired that they were shaking. At night, only the light of the desk lamp and the sound of rustling pens witnessed that extraordinary effort. When applying, Ryan was both hopeful and scared. The days that followed felt like centuries, his heart was always in a state of waiting. Then the miracle happened. When Ryan was at the library, his phone rang. Trembling hands opened the email, and as they read the text, your submission has been accepted, tears welled up in his eyes. He did the unthinkable. That day, Ryan not only felt like he had won over life, but also believed that his dream was finally being heard. A boy in a wheelchair decided to change the world, and he won't stop here. Outside the window, the first snowflakes of the season fell slowly, covering the small streets of the town. Christmas lights sparkled on the rooftops, creating a sparkling but unfamiliar scene for Ryan. In a small room with peeling and cold walls, Ryan sat at an old wooden table, the table lamp emitting a weak yellow light. The wheelchair beneath his feet made small squeaks as he turned toward the window. Ryan is a 17-year-old boy with a birth defect that causes him to have no feeling in his legs. But his eyes still shined with the light of faith, even though the situation around him was just a gray picture of difficulty. Ryan's family is poor, his father works hard to pay for every meal. His mother passed away a long time ago, leaving Ryan with a lonely heart but always filled with desire. Every day, Ryan rolls his old car through the narrow and cold streets of the town, to the small library at the end of the street. For others, the library is a place to store books, but for Ryan, it is a door to the vast world out there. He is fascinated by stories about technology, space exploration, and especially people who dare to overcome limits to create miracles. Among those people, Ryan has always admired Elon Musk. That man has achieved the seemingly impossible, from launching rockets into space with SpaceX to creating Tesla electric cars that changed the world. Ryan devoured every article about Elon, dreaming that one day he too could create something meaningful. But life did not favor Ryan. The old wheelchair was worn out and rusty. Every time it moved, it always made painful cries. A new wheelchair is a luxury for him, let alone a revolutionary project. However, in Ryan's heart a dream still burns. He wants to build an automatic wheelchair powered by solar energy that can overcome any terrain. He believes that, if successful, that car will change the lives of millions of people like him. That evening, in the flickering yellow light, Ryan opened his old computer. The sound of the wind outside whistled through the door like distant whispers. When the screen flashes, a message appears. A unique opportunity. Online meeting with Elon Musk for young inventors. Submit your ideas and demonstrate your creativity. The best people will be selected to present directly to Elon Musk. Ryan's heart felt like it was about to jump out of his chest. Isn't this what you've always dreamed of? Meeting Elon Musk, sharing ideas, turning dreams into reality. But that joy was quickly pulled down when he carefully read the request. Applicants must submit a detailed design or working prototype. Ryan looked around the small room, his hands unconsciously tightening his grip on the wheelchair wheel. How could a poor boy, with no tools and no materials, create such a thing? There's only 1 week left. That is the only opportunity and also the biggest challenge he has to face. But Ryan couldn't give up. The words his mother once said echoed in his mind. Son, Christmas is a time of miracles. As long as you don't give up, all miracles can happen. Ryan took a deep breath, tears threatening to flow. His heart ached because of the injustice of fate, but his reason did not allow him to fall. You will do it, no matter how difficult it is. That entire night, Ryan sat at his desk, pencil gliding quickly across the blank page. The first ideas appeared, rudimentary but full of hope. The gentle sound of a pen scratching on paper mixed with the sound of the wind whistling outside, like a musical accompaniment for the upcoming journey. When the first dawn of Christmas Day appeared, Ryan's eyes were filled with fatigue but his determination was stronger than ever. You know, you won't let this dream slip away. A boy with nothing in his hands, only faith and hope. Will a miracle happen? Christmas Day passed in thick snow, but for Ryan, he had no time to think about warm things or gifts. The small room suddenly became a makeshift workshop, and the old wooden table was where all his ideas exploded. The white pages were filled with sketches. Ryan bit his pen, his eyes filled with worry. How can an idea become a reality in just a few days? His hands trembled as he flipped through the blueprints. It is an automatic wheelchair with a solar panel mounted on top, a smart controller using artificial intelligence to orient itself and a special wheel system that can move on all terrains, including either snow, rock or sand. But how to prove this idea? With no materials, no tools, Ryan felt like everything was falling apart. The sound of his rolling wheels echoed in the dark night as he moved through the small room. He felt helpless before such a big dream, but when he looked at his mother's photo on the wall, Ryan remembered her gentle voice. I believe in you, son. There is no limit big enough to stop those who dare to fight for their dreams. Ryan quickly wiped away his tears and took a deep breath. You are not allowed to stop. That night, in the dim light, Ryan worked non-stop. He disassembled his old wheelchair, making the parts himself with scraps of iron he found from his father's warehouse. The sound of hammering echoed steadily, blending with the sound of the wind whistling outside the window like silent cheers. Clack! A piece of metal broken in half. Ryan bit his lip, his hands were bleeding. He looked up at the clock. There were only 2 days left before the application deadline. He looked around, the only place left was the old computer on the table. Okay, this blueprint should suffice, Ryan said to himself. With each finger stiffened by the cold, he entered each technical parameter. He described how the wheelchair works in detail, how the solar panels will collect energy, how the artificial intelligence will process data to drive itself and avoid obstacles. He added illustrations from the sketch to complete the submission. When the computer screen displays the last line, "Successful application," Ryan slumped into his chair. His heart beat rapidly in his chest. A vague fear invaded my mind. Will your idea be chosen? Can this dream go beyond this shabby room? 1 week later. Ryan sat in the library, his hands gently turning the pages of the book, but his mind was somewhere else. Outside, snow was still falling, forming a blanket of white. Suddenly, the old phone in my pocket vibrated. Ryan's heart seemed to stop beating. His hands trembled as he unlocked the screen. It's an email. Congratulations. Your idea has been selected for an online presentation with Elon Musk. Ryan stared at the screen, tears falling hot drops. This isn't a dream, right? He muttered. Around him, no one noticed the little guy crying with joy. Presentation day arrives. Ryan sat in front of the computer with shaking hands. Behind him, his father looked at his son with proud eyes. You did it, Ryan. Your mother will be very proud of you. As the screen flashed, Ryan saw an image of Elon Musk appear. His heart was beating so hard that he thought he would faint. Hello, Ryan. I look forward to hearing your ideas. Ryan took a deep breath, looked straight at the screen and began to present. His voice sounded clear but full of emotion. He talked about his dream, about a self-driving wheelchair powered by solar energy. The image he painted of a future where people with disabilities can move freely, overcoming all limitations, made the meeting space fall silent. Elon Musk nodded silently, his eyes shining with emotion. Finally, he leaned forward and said, Ryan, this is a great idea. I want to help you make it happen. Ryan couldn't believe his ears. Elon Musk, the person he idolized for many years, said those words. His eyes were red, his hands clutching the wheel of the wheelchair as if to hold himself. His dream was seen, recognized. Outside the window, the snow stopped falling. Somewhere in the Christmas sky, the stars sparkled as if witnessing the magical moment of a boy who refused to give up. Christmas has passed, but for Ryan, it was just the beginning of a magical journey. Sitting on the flight to Tesla headquarters, for the first time in his life he saw the world from above. The city lights below sparkled like stars, beautiful and distant. In Ryan's heart, everything is both a dream and a huge reality. When he set foot at Tesla headquarters, Ryan was almost stunned by the scene. Modern buildings with the Tesla logo shining brightly in the night sky. Engineers in white coats and helmets walked quickly through the hallway. The smell of motor oil, the clicking sound of hammers mixed with the noise of machinery create a symphony of technology. Elon Musk personally waited for Ryan at the entrance, his warm smile made him feel less tense in his heart. Welcome to Tesla, Ryan. This will be the new home for your ideas. Ryan looked around, everything was happening like a dream. The best engineers in the industry walked up to greet him, shaking his hand with respect and enthusiasm. They led Ryan into a large room with blueprints projected on a giant screen. Let's get started, Elon said, his eyes filled with motivation. In the following days, Ryan worked with Tesla's engineering team. The self-driving wheelchair, from an idea in the mind of a young boy, began to appear more clearly little by little. Together, they found ways to make the solar power system work most efficiently, ensuring it moves on all terrains and still maintains an elegant, user-friendly design. As each day passed, laughter mixed with heated debates echoed throughout the room. Even though Ryan was tired, he still couldn't hide his excitement. His eyes sparkled with hope every time the trial got closer to success. One night, Ryan sat alone in the workshop. His hands gently touched the first prototype wheelchair, tears suddenly falling. Every line, every detail is the crystallization of his dream, a dream he thought would never come true. "I did it, Mom," Ryan whispered, his voice choked. Launch day has finally arrived. Tesla's large room was lavishly decorated for the ceremony. The bright lights combined with the red and green colors of Christmas make the atmosphere both solemn and cozy. Journalists, engineers, and technology enthusiasts flocked from around the world. Ryan sat in a new wheelchair and slowly rolled out onto the stage. Applause rang out like thunder. He looked out into the auditorium, his heart beating loudly. His hand trembled as he grabbed the microphone. "My name is Ryan, and this is my dream," he said, his voice filling the air. He tells about his journey, from the cold winter days in the small library, where he dreamed of a future without limits, to today, when the self-driving wheelchair has become a reality. "This is not just a machine. This is a symbol of hope. I believe that there will be millions of people like me who can live more freely and confidently." He turned to the wheelchair, lightly touched the control panel, and the vehicle began to move on its own amid the cheers of the audience. Each smooth movement and each smart feature displayed makes everyone admire. Elon Musk walked up to the stage, patted Ryan on the shoulder and said loudly, "Today, we are not just launching a product. We started a movement. Part of the profits from this wheelchair will be used to provide scholarships to young inventors around the world." Applause echoed like ocean waves, mixed with emotional tears. Ryan bowed his head, his eyes filled with tears as he looked toward the auditorium, where his father was smiling proudly. Amidst a space filled with light and joy, Ryan looked up at the Christmas night sky. The first snowflakes of the season fell again, as gently as the dream that once swayed in his heart. "Thank you for believing in me, and thank you for giving me the chance to believe in myself," Ryan whispered. At the end of the story, don't forget to like and follow the channel. Let's spread the miracles in life. Wishing you a peaceful and happy Christmas.